Hey there, it's Andrea Olson with Go Diaper Free, staying up late tonight to record a podcast number 104, EC and toothbrushing. Let's do this. Welcome to the Go Diaper Free podcast, where we're all about helping you stop depending on diapers as early as birth. I'm your host, Andrea Olson, author and mom of 5 babies, all EC'd from birth, all out of diapers by walking. This is episode 104, EC and toothbrushing? Why we should treat potty training like brushing teeth. This is a guest post from Maru Rojas, our certified coach serving Greater London and the Southeast. I hope you enjoy it. You can read the full written version of Maru's post today over at godiaperfree.com/104, where I will also conveniently link to anything I mention in today's episode. She and I will also be replying to comments over there, so come on by and see us when you're finished. Here's Maru's post. There are plenty of reasons why potty training has become a dreaded milestone, but the main one is that, culturally, urinating and defecating are taboo subjects. Few things cause parents so much anxiety these days. Another reason is that throughout our babies' lives, everything changes from one day to the next. That's really the only constant. They go from drinking only milk to eating solids, from immobility to rolling, to crawling, walking and jumping, from crying to saying a few words to nonstop chatting. But the one thing that remains a constant from the day they are born is nappies. Remember, Maru is in London, so in other parts of the world we also call them diapers. The mental hurdle of ditching nappies is huge for parents mostly, but also for toddlers. I'm going to share a tip that, from my experience, has made the whole thing a lot easier to grasp. Potty training is not that different from getting kids to brush their teeth. If we treat it this way, we'll feel less daunted, more confident in our parenting, and more committed to getting it done as soon as possible. So keep listening for some helpful tips, and anytime I mention toothbrushing, swap it out for potty training. I have papers today. All right, next page. First, it needs to start early. If you try to introduce a toothbrush to a 3 to 4-year-old, then you will no doubt be met with a resistant and strong-willed toddler who wants nothing to do with this invasive toothbrushing business. Start early, when they're keener to copy what we do and do what we say, instead of when they're at the peak of the individuation phase, usually 2.5 to 3 years old, and will say no to any request, big or small. And this is why EC is so great. You start easy, you start gently as early as birth, so when the time comes to ditch the nappies, using the toilet is a normal, gradual process and very familiar, right? Second, at some point, they won't like it. Regardless of when you started brushing teeth, at some point they start actively disliking it. However, we know what's best for them, so we must persevere. We don't give up the first time they run away with their mouth closed, worried that we might have damaged them. If we do that, we're saying it's not that important after all, and it gives them too much power, which little people definitely don't like. Third, it's a matter of hygiene and health. We want to establish good lifelong habits from the beginning. Yes, it is invasive at times, like when we have to hold the toothbrush in their mouth, or when we need to help them wipe after the toilet properly. And toddlers generally don't like an adult doing things to them that they think they can do themselves. But as per my previous point, we know that toothbrushing is a healthy practice, so we find creative ways of getting that toothbrush brushing those little teeth. And fourth, we can't force them. Yet it's our job to make sure they do it. You can't force a child to open their mouth and stick a toothbrush in, any more than you can force them to sit on a potty. Getting into a battle of wills twice a day or 5+ times a day for pottying is emotionally draining. It's frustrating and it's exhausting. It's not fun for anyone. So we have to stay in tune and connected with them and be creative. Some of us sing songs, or we may pretend the toothbrush is a dinosaur or an airplane, or recite the alphabet. Anything that makes your little one smile and open wide. I reckon 9 times out of 10, the best course of action is to see the humorous side and use play and games to elicit cooperation. Fifth, the readiness advice is just wrong. Don't do it too early because they're not physically or emotionally ready. So for toothbrushing, you have to wait for them to want to brush their teeth, tell you verbally that they want you to do it, and then be able to do the whole process on their own. Well, you may be waiting for 4, 5, or more years, and by then the risk of tooth decay is just not worth it. It's our responsibility to get them started, help them as little as they need, and then allow them to take control. And as a side note, that's exactly why I like Go Diaper Free's method for potty training. With potty training, the increased risk of soiling, wetting, UTIs, and constipation after 36 months is, in my opinion, just not worth the wait. And a final thought. Just because something is common doesn't mean it's right. A few years back, it was recommended to give infants and babies fruit juice in their bottle, and there's a link over in the show notes for that. The results were naturally cavities and baby bottle tooth decay. Today, parents are recommended to use disposable diapers to delay potty training until 2 or 3 years old. They are told that daytime potty training can take months to complete, and that nighttime training shouldn't even start before they're 4 or so. The results are that persistent bedwetting has become a common occurrence until age 5 and beyond, to the point where parents are now told to assume it's part of normal development and they'll grow out of it one day. And just to be clear, I'm not judging parents or their decisions, but I am bothered about the incorrect advice we've all been given under the guise of science. So that's it from Maru, you guys. Thanks so much, Maru. Please head over to the show notes at godiaperfree.com/104 and let us know, how do you feel about early exposure to the toothbrush and early exposure to the potty through EC? We'll see you over there. Till next time, when we share the eye-opening results of the world's first EC study. It's featuring over 1,000 ECers worldwide. Our friend Nuria did this amazing study, and I'm going to share the results next time. Until then, happy pottying, y'all. I'm Andrea Olson, and you've been listening to the Go Diaper Free podcast at godiaperfree.com. Have a good one. Boy, did I mess up a ton today. That's okay. You guys hit the bell and hit subscribe, and I'll definitely let you know when we have another video up. And I have a couple creative videos coming up soon as well. That should be pretty fun. But yeah, let us know down below. What do you think about early toothbrushing? What do you think about early exposure to the potty? Let's talk about it. And I'll see you down there. Take care.